Just trying to survive and learn to love along the way by Foreplay on AO3. Episode 59, Chapter 59 of Moves and Moving Forward. Izuku isn't expecting the announcement about special moves. He knows his dad briefly brought it up on the trip out camp. But at that point in the journey, he was still mostly asleep. He never even thought of what this could be. He remembers overhearing the other kids in elementary school and middle school talking about it, and some of them could go for hours about what their signature hero move would be. But not Izuku. While he could go on hours about some things, signature moves is not one of them. It's something he's avoided thinking about when he was younger. The thought hasn't ever crossed his mind since he got his quirk. His class had been so busy with schoolwork and villain attacks that Izuku doubts many of them had been thinking about it either. After his dad's announcement, everyone had walked together to the dorms, but once they arrived, most of his class retreated to their rooms. Izuku follows their lead. 30 minutes later, he's sitting at his desk in front of an empty notebook. All he's been thinking about since he sat down are special moves, but he can't come up with anything. Maybe his dads can help. But since only one of his dads is here right now, Izuku bets that he has a fair share of students asking for his input. Maybe once he could use more of his quirk, something would come up? A lot of people's quirks develop as they train it more, so maybe that's what he has to do. He might be able to do something with his legs. Maybe if he focuses his power into them, he could figure something out. It's definitely something to start with. He'll just go over it with his dads later tonight. Someone knocks on his door. He opens it quickly and finds Shoto standing there. He looks exhausted and upset. Shoto, are you okay? Izuku opens his door further, giving his friend the option to come in. I have to tell them. Shoto says where he is, just outside Izuku's door. What are you talking about? I have to tell them about Touya. Izuku doesn't have to be a genius to guess who them is. He's caught all the guilty looks Shoto has sent the group that his brother attacked. While all their bandages are gone at this point, his friend's eyes linger on any marks left by Touya. Izuku hopes that no one else has caught on to the looks. Anyone who doesn't know what happened could take it completely the wrong way. He knows he would. Okay, do you want me to come with you? Shoto just nods at him and turns around, leading the way downstairs. Kirishima, Kaminari, Sero, and Mina are all sitting in the common room, where they are. The group looks confused. Shoto must have asked them to meet him there, and not given any information. Although, with the group he asked for, they must have made some assumption about the meeting. Izuku and Shoto sit down on the available couch, side by side. There's no one else in the common room, so someone must have kicked them out. Thank you guys for meeting me here. Shoto goes quiet as he speaks, and he looks at every person in turn. They all look back at him expectantly. Todoroki, what's going on? Are you okay? Izuku has to hide his smile at the concern in Kirishima's voice. Of course they're worried about Shoto. He's been so different these past few days, ever since he found out about Touya. Not really. No. There's something I need to tell you guys. The seriousness in Shoto's voice gave everyone pause. They all sit there silently, waiting for him to continue. It's about the villain that attacked you. Wait, what? You know him? Mina practically yells at Shoto. All the others are frowning, whether it's at her or Shoto, telling them it's unclear. I used to. His name is Touya. He's my brother, and he disappeared when I was 4. Where Izuku expected outrage, there was only stunned silence. Your brother's a villain? I'm sorry, Todoroki, that must suck. It's Kaminari who breaks the silence. He has a sympathetic look on his face. Izuku looks to his left at Shoto, a small smile on his face. Everyone is taking this so well, so his friends must feel relieved. His smile quickly turns into a frown. Shoto is intense, and his expression hardly reveals anything. It's only his clenched jaw and tearful eyes that betray his frustration. Why aren't you angry? It's my fault. I'm the reason Sato is dead. Shoto stands up as he yells, and Izuku has to resist the urge to sit back from him. Whoa, man, what are you talking about? You didn't kill him. Kirishima stands too. He takes an unsure step forward, hand held out in an attempt to de-escalate the situation. Shouta just glares at his hands before reaching forward and snatching one of Kirishima's wrists. Izuku steps up to his side as he pulls Kirishima closer, still staring at his arms. Hey, Sho, what's going on? His friend is silent. Izuku turns to Kirishima to see if he has any clue on what's going on. He's staring at Shouta, a small frown on his face. Izuku opens its mouth to speak, when Shouta beats him to it. These are my fault. His voice is quiet. Izuku barely hears it, and he's standing right next to him. Izuku and Kirishima simultaneously look down to where Shouta still grips his arms. His hold is loose, and Kirishima could have easily torn his arms away. These are the marks all over his arms, still healing. They bear an awful similar to the scar around Shoto's eye. Shouta is blaming himself for Kirishima's scars. It's really not. Shouta shakes his head at Kirishima, finally dropping his arm. He backs away and drops back onto the couch, head low. He didn't want to do it. Someone was following him and threatening me. So he did it because of me. Shota's voice breaks, and he sinks even lower into the couch. I think he did it for you, not because of you. He chose to protect you, Sho. I don't think he wanted to hurt anyone. Izuku takes the silent after Sho's comment to speak up. This isn't your fault, man. We're fine anyways. It sounds like he really cared about you. Don't throw that away by taking the blame on yourself. Izuku is surprised to hear Sero speak. He's been silent up until this point. Shouta looks back at them, taking in everyone's determined expressions. Okay. He stands and starts to leave the common room. Shouta is nearby at the door when he turns back again. There's one more thing. Touya wants me to tell you guys that he's sorry. He turns back to the door and exits, leaving no time for an answer. Everyone sits there silent for a minute, before Izuku has enough of it and leaves as well. He has some notes to get back to. God, as soon as I start my outro, I have like a huge yawn. Okay, as I was gonna say when my yawn interrupted me, interesting. So, Shouta didn't have to have, Izuku help out Shouta, like, arrange that. Shouta went to Izuku. I also love Sero's response, the like, hey, clearly he cares about you, don't diminish this by thinking it's your fault. And that's something that I didn't even think about. The implications that not only is Todoroki probably distant with everybody because he feels like, something big happened and, he might not have 100% trust on everybody. Add on top of that the fact that he's blaming himself for the death of one of his classmates, feeling as though, okay, I can't have people trust me because I'm not trustworthy because I'm the reason this happened, right? He's taking it on the blame. He's not the one to blame. The only ones to blame are obviously Touya because he did choose to end that person's life. Yes, was it a choice because, he had to choose between his brother and that person? Yeah, but he still chose, right? Whether it was Shouta that ended up dying that day or Sato, he would have had somebody's death in his hands. And it would have been, his choice. He would be partially to blame, right? Whether indirectly or directly. As for who is overall to blame, the League of Villains. They're the true people to blame. They're the true reason why this person is dead, right? Yeah, sure, Dabi's the one who ended the life. But because they were directed to, right? Like, in the end, Dabi would have ended up killing somebody, whether it would have been indirectly killing his brother by disrespecting orders or directly killing Sato, right? But in the end, the League of Villains chose to do that, right? They chose to do that. Dabi had a choice between his brother and Sato. Understandable why he chose Sato. The League of Villains are dickheads, all right? Shigaraki's a dickhead. I said it. I fucking said it. But yeah, no, it's interesting how that would work, and I want to know how he develops down the line and see how that. I really hope that nothing, goes back. So, chapter 60 is Of Brothers and a Plan. Shouta returns to school and is faced with a dilemma. Okay, what dilemma? Anyways, As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.